Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me once again. Well, the Conservatives have a problem, don't they? They're facing annihilation at the polls. There is a real big prospect they could be all but wiped out at the next general election. And who can blame us? In my view, I hope Labour follows them, because I, for one, think the whole affair is completely shot to hell and we need to start again. But being realistic, and the number of people in this country that still believe in the system we have, we're going to get a Labour government. So what follows is who's going to be the opposition. And we find for the first time that Reform has actually overtaken the Conservatives at the polls. Interesting, isn't it? Well, when there is a threat to the establishment by an outside party or an outside organisation, in this case, Reform, the media go into overdrive trying to do everything they can to discredit them, don't they? Picking on old social media posts from 3 or 4 years ago is an example. I did a video on this earlier. Paz did a great video as well regarding GB News with some of the things that they're saying about Reform, and in particular Nigel Farage, trying to discredit him and trying to paint a picture of him that actually isn't true. I'm very surprised at GB News, and all that does is prove that they're actually mainstream, even though they pretend to be something else. So we have to keep an eye on them. What interests me as well is the gutter journalism displayed by the BBC fact-checking department and also the Daily Mirror. 2 examples. The BBC have turned around and tried to make the implication that any social media accounts online that support Reform are in fact sock accounts designed to create a false narrative that they've actually got more support than they really have. Now, from the BBC, a very left-wing organisation who's proved their political bias again and again and again, it really doesn't hold any water, especially with me. And it's a claim that really is nonsense. If you have a look around all of the accounts online and posts that people are making, there is a support there. And another thing to point out as well, an example, if you look at YouTube, if you look at centre-right or right-wing YouTube accounts, and then you look at ones that are centre-left or left and compare the number of subscribers that each have, you can see a very, very vast difference. So there is support for this way of thinking, and it is growing in this country. Now, the last one I want to point out, and I really thought this was pathetic, a tweet popped up to do with Lee Anderson. Apparently the Daily Mirror printed that he was caught parking in a disabled space at a supermarket, thereby giving the impression he doesn't give a shit and he'll park where he likes. Oh, okay. Well, this was quickly debunked because it turns out that Lee's wife has a disability, therefore a disabled badge, and therefore perfectly entitled to park in that space, and she was with him at the time. So you can see that they're doing everything they can within their power to pick fault, not necessarily where there is fault, and looking far back in the past to try and do so. It really is quite pathetic. And what really concerns me is that many people in this country will still fall for it, and I hope they begin to wake up. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, if you've got social media, I wouldn't mind a share. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.